My name is Naomi Jane,
I'm Michele Voigt.
and you're watching Santa Barbara Talks with Josh Molina.
You were gone faster than lightning. Can't even blame the bad timing. Made me believe that you loved me, then leave me without even trying. You were gone faster than lightning. I'd say I'm fine, but I'm lying. Told me that I was the one, now you're done. Was it something that I did to make you leave faster than lightning?
Welcome to Santa Barbara Talks with Josh Molina. It's such a pleasure today to be here with, I have to be honest, a little slice of heaven in Naomi Jane, who is Santa Barbara's teen star and also has more than 5 million streams of her music and more than 1 million for her incredible song Lightning. And I'm here with her today to talk to her about her amazing rise in career. And we're also blessed to have Michele Voigt, her mother, who's going to talk about what it's like to be managing her daughter and being on this journey, this rise in her career. And so I'm so happy to welcome you to the show, Naomi Jane.
Thank
How
you
are
for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And Michele, so nice to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
We're live in the TVSB studios today, by the way, and so this is a full-on production, and I'm so excited because you're going to be singing for us as well,
Yeah.
and that's going to be the highlight of this show. Naomi Jane, I first became familiar with you in my journalism role, and you were an activist in the community, and you were standing up for arts and theater and music, and that was just amazing to see, that. And then I'm like, whoa, she just said she's a teen star. And so let me look into that. And so then I spent a lot of time, on YouTube and sort of seeing that. And I have to say that it feels like when I listen to your music, it's not really like a local artist who's trying to get big. It feels like you're already big, that you're already this huge star because the quality of your music, the production and your voice and your keyboard skills, and you're just an overall musician. And so I'm listening to these songs in my car and I'm thinking, this person is already like this huge star right here in Santa Barbara. And so I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to you because it's quite an honor. And so we're going to deep dive into your career here,
All right.
just for a little bit. So Naomi Jane, talk to me a little bit about what it's like to be you right now. You're 16 years old, you go to high school. High school life is, unique, interesting, challenging. It's a ride for sure. And then on top of that, you are creating this incredible music and you're a theater star as well. What's it like to be you right now at this point in your life?
It's pretty nice to be me right now. I love my life right now. I'm lucky because at my school, I have 2 classes throughout my day. We have 4 periods that are specifically music and acting based. So I have choir every day and I have musical theater every day, which not all the high schools have. We're lucky because our 4th period is musical theater and not an after school program. So yeah, I mean, it's hard. I'm lucky because I'm really fast with my homework. So I get that done so then I can actually work on, writing music on my free time, making a lot of TikTok posts, even though it's really hard for me to do because I'm not a big fan of posting on TikTok, but that's our world today. But I still have time to hang out with my friends. I'm a true believer in I want to experience life and I want to hang out with my friends and experience like the true teenage experience because that's what I write my songs about. And I always write my songs about something true. So, yeah.
So, in Santa Barbara, we have a lot of celebrities. We have people who live Montecito, Santa Barbara, and we kind of have this culture of we don't bother them if we see them out. We don't gush over them. In your world, you're a big star, right? And so what's it like for you? Are you able to be in high school, on campus, and do people treat you differently? Because I would imagine there's a little bit of there's obviously an upside, but there's also a downside is people maybe I don't approach her. Maybe, she's too important for me, or, maybe she won't talk to me because she's so big now. Talk to me about this like high school culture and life, Dan.
Well, I feel like part of this whole high school culture is that no one really thinks that I'm too important that they won't come up to me because they don't really take my music and my career seriously. They're like, oh, she just posts stuff, like whatever. Oh, she has a few streams, whatever. It's not really a concern to them. But I will say when I first moved here and people found out, oh my gosh, she releases music. That's weird. They made it known that it was weird. And people would make comments about it every day. And that was my freshman year of high school. But now I've started to realize that less people will say stuff, at least to my face. I don't know if they say something behind my back, but it's because I'm actually succeeding and actually like living out this dream that I've had since I was little. And it's like, oh, I can't really say anything about it because she's doing it. Like I can't doubt her because I'm seeing it happen right in front of my eyes. So I have a great group of friends, teachers, mentors, people in Santa Barbara, this community that has been so supportive, and that I've found that support system, even though I didn't have that before when I first moved here.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think it's undeniable that you're talented, and just high school life. Maybe people will in college be like, wow, we had this local talent with us at the time. But I wanted to talk to you about your upbringing, because the first time I saw you was the Santa Barbara Unified School District Board meeting. And so you were just magically there. You're just sort of talking. Talk to me about when you first figured out that you could sing. You were also a musician. When did you say, this is what I want to do growing up?
Well, I was lucky enough to know that this is what I've always wanted to do since day one. There was no question about it. I know a lot of people have these stories where this is how I fell in love with music, but I just came out of the womb singing and dancing. I don't know what to tell you. Um, but yeah, I was born in New York City, in Manhattan. I was surrounded by music and theater. My mom is a painter, and also she has a love for opera. My dad's aunt is actually a famous opera singer at the Met, Deborah Voigt, which is probably where I got my singing from because it's not from my dad. Sorry, Dad, I love you. Um, but yeah, I grew up doing musical theater and acting. I always thought that's what I wanted to do. But when you get to a certain age, you actually grow out of it because there's only certain shows on Broadway that cast certain ages. And then once you get to a certain age, there's adults playing teenage roles. So when you're a teenager or a preteen, there's not a lot of work for you on Broadway. So that's when I started doing more TV and film. And then I realized I wanted to write my own music. I mean, I've always wrote my own music, but I wanted to like actually write my own music and produce it. So that's what we started doing. And I did that in Greenwich, Connecticut most of my life. We moved back and forth from the coasts a ton. But then this last year and a half, 2 years, we moved back to Santa Barbara so I could pursue music professionally, which I'm very lucky to have parents that support me so much that we do that crazy move again. We've done it like 7 times. But yeah, that's kind of my upbringing. I always knew this is what I wanted to do, and I still do. I don't have a plan B, so.
So were you like 5 years old and you kind of said, I've got a voice, or people tell me I have a good voice? Or how early can you remember that people were saying, well, you're different?
Well, I remember my mom tells me this story all the time that when I was a little baby in New York City, she would push me around in the stroller and we'd go on walks and I would sing to all the people on the street. So that's probably my first like, oh, I'm gonna be a star. Like I'm gonna sing for these people, these people. But no, I think probably about 5. I did this thing called Monkey Monkey Music through PBS Kids, where I kind of sang and danced in the background with this lady and a guitar, which is kind of probably, I don't know. That might be a you question, like when you realized.
4, and then I think I wanted it to be it had to be her decision if she wanted to do it, because she was always doing it. But in order for her to do it professionally, I wanted
consent
it
to it.
I wanted it to be her decision that it was what she wanted to do professionally. But she was always putting herself out there.
Worked with the hardest vocal teachers that made me cry.
She started training with a Juilliard voice teacher when she was 6 or 7 years old in New York City, and stuck with it. Marked her music and worked very hard, but it was always had to be her choice to pursue it. So, but she made that decision probably around the age of 5 that she was going to go for this, and there was no turning back.
So, Michele, let me just dive in right now, since Naomi referenced like what you can remember from that era. What's it like for you to be able to hear her sing, to watch her perform? You see her in these videos. Do you still get those butterflies? I mean, I have 2 kids, and every time my kid does something that I'm proud of, it's like I feel so great, like I've done my job, and I'm so proud of them. And how do you feel when you hear her sing?
I'm blessed. I get to hear her sing 24 hours a day. This instrument is a nonstop. It is constant. She's constantly singing and constantly at her piano at home. So I'm blessed to hear every creation and be a part of it since she came into this world. So I'm blessed with this music. I hear it in my sleep. I hear every song. I know every lyric.
Does that not get annoying?
Sometimes, sometimes I'm quiet when I'm trying to drive. Yeah, I get goosebumps. I get nervous when she's up on stage. Like you will see me, probably like the football mom on the sideline, like mimicking every play. I certainly feel every butterfly and nerve when she's up on stage. But yeah, it's exciting, and I love every minute.
And you're quite the accomplished artist too. I've seen some of your works online, and you two are the dream team. I'm big fans. Your whole family, they're superstars. Naomi Jane, I want to talk to you a little bit about your songs. And so I love like pop music and top 40 music, and of that age group where I just the 90s stuff. I love George Michael and Whitney Houston and Prince, and I liked. My current favorite's Alanis Morissette, which is she's still big, and I've seen her 8 times in concert because I love her songwriting and all that. But so I listen to your songs, and I won't pin it all on my daughter. I do like to listen to your music on my own. So I wanted to just kind of go through a few of your songs, and you're going to sing some of them. We're so lucky to be able to have that. So let me just start with one, and then I'll ask you a few questions too. But Lightning was sort of the first song that I heard from you, because it was right around the time when I first, met you through the activism. And I remember hearing this song and thinking like, there's no way this is her, because this song is amazing. Like this could be a Grammy award-winning song already. And then I watched the video, and it's high quality production. And you're going to sing, but you have these lyrics. You were gone faster than lightning. Can't even blame the bad timing. Make me believe you love me, then leave me without even trying. And those lyrics, like they're just they're so powerful with the way your voice is, because we're going to hear you in a second. You are legitimately a great singer. It's not just bubblegum music that's produced to sound good. You do have that range and that opera, and it comes across in Lightning. You're 16. Have you really had this heartbreak? Talk to me about this, where this song comes from.
Well, actually, this song was shown to me by my producer, Kayla Diamond. It was written by these 2 powerful women named Sophia Camara and Karis.
Yeah.
And so she played me this song. And so I actually was with a management team when I first started doing music.
Okay.
And they kind of were like, oh, we're going to make you sing songs that you didn't write because we don't know if you can actually write music. So it was kind of like, you do songs we give you, and then you can write some songs. So they didn't know if I could actually write music, which I think I can, and hopefully I proved to them I could. But they showed me the song, and I think it was maybe like 8 months later, that song was still stuck in my head. And I was like, I need that song, because I related to it. And I knew if it was stuck in my head for 8 months, it was going to get stuck in other people's head for 8 months. So I relate Lightning. Lightning is about getting ghosted by someone. And I feel like that's a very universal thing, which kind of sucks. I'm so sorry that if that's happened to you. But yeah, it's about getting ghosted by someone and they make you believe like made you believe that you loved me, like, oh, we're this thing, and then they're like, psych, I lied, and then they leave. So yeah, I had the honor of being able to call this song mine and putting my touch on this song. But yeah, I love it. This song is one of my babies. It has such a special place in my heart.
And this one has had 1 million views on YouTube.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a viral. It's very popular. It's a big hit. And you loved it because you could relate to it, or just the arrangement, or what was it about the song? Have you been ghosted?
I've kind of been ghosted. I don't feel like I could be like I've been ghosted because I am a 16-year-old. So I feel like it's very different when you're a teenager, and it because it's like everything is on Snapchat nowadays. It's like it's kind of gross. But moving on, I think I've always related to really, really sad music because I love to feel so deeply. And I think a lot of other people like to listen to sad music because they like to feel something. That's why we listen to music, is to feel something. So this is one of the songs that even though it's very upbeat and it's very pop, it made me feel something. And I was like, shoot, that's so sad. Like the first lyrics are, I wasn't ready to fall in love when you met me. And it's just like, it really like kind of punched me in the gut in the best way possible. So it was the emotion that really stuck out to me, and that's what I wanted to that's what I wanted other people to hear first.
Well, it's an amazing song, and I mean, I never get tired of listening to it. So Naomi Jane is gonna sing a part of the song for us, and you're all gonna be fans immediately. So let's watch her sing.
I wasn't ready to fall in love when you met me. Now we're making out at every red light till they turn green. You pulled me in deep, made me feel seen. Tried to be strong, but you made me so weak. Gave you all that was left of me, I gave you everything. You were gone faster than lightning. Can't even blame the bad timing. Made me believe that you love me, then leave me without even trying. You were gone faster than lightning. I'd say I'm fine, but I'm lying. Told me that I was the one. All you done was it something that I did to make it leave faster than lightning.
Wow, that was amazing performance. I've listened to that song a lot of times, watched the video, and it's so good. The chorus, the hook, it's just so good, and so I'm really happy for you that you've had that much success
Thank
with
you.
that song. What do you think of Lightning, Michelle?
I love it. I think the video is just incredible, and Naomi came up with the concept and directed the video. And I think what's really cool is all of her videos she shoots here in Santa Barbara, and she makes sure she highlights a location here, and she's trying to keep everything so authentic to Santa Barbara. So all of that was shot in the marina on one very cold,
So cold.
terrible night, very windy, cold night. But yeah, I just love like how she has this complete vision when she has a song, that she has this complete idea that she puts together.
Do you sketch it out? Do you draw it, write it? Is it verbal? How do you do that?
I kind of do Pinterest boards, but I never like base an idea off of a Pinterest board. I have the idea. It's kind of like my music. I don't really have it just kind of comes to me. And so the vision just kind of comes to me. And then I use the Pinterest board to kind of like create an aesthetic and a vibe and just lay it all out there. But
That's great. And I think as, a very minor content creator compared to you, it it's so much better when you have full control of what you do, because
Mm-hmm.
once you get too many cooks in the kitchen and lose your vision and it's just not you, and if people are going to love you, it should be for you. If they're not going to like it, it should be for you. So I'm an advocate for keep doing what you're doing. Okay, I want to talk to you about, I want to say my favorite song, but they're all my favorite. But so this Taco Bell song, okay? um, so I went from Lightning, I'm like, well, what else does she have? Like, this is really good. And then I went to Taco Bell, and I'm like, what a weird name for a song. Yeah. And so I have since learned that you're a Taco Bell fan,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one quick mention in the song.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk to you a little about it. Is very clearly filmed at San Marcos High School,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this is a great song. It's got the chorus, the marching band part. It's just so amazing, and this is one my daughter and I. It's actually at the end of the year when people post their like most listened to on
Oh,
like Spotify.
actually?
Right now, it's like in my like top 20 right now.
That's
So we'll see where it goes.
So if he asked you to prom with the entire marching band, I'd understand why you love him. If he writes you a song, professes undying love, I'd understand why you want him. But he never did any of that.
And so this is a great song. So talk to me about Taco Bell and what that means for you. Then I want to ask you a couple questions about the lyrics.
Um, Taco Bell is definitely me in a song. It's about a girl. It's kind of I wrote the song about my girl best friend who wasn't getting treated well by a guy, and I was like, how do you love a guy who does all this stuff? Like, I'd understand it if you love him if he did this and this. I also have very high expectations when it comes to romance because I love rom-coms, which I mentioned in the song.
Yeah.
I love rom-coms, and I was just like, I don't know how you could be with a guy who treats you like that. So yeah, this song is me in a song, and yeah, we feature also. You mentioned that it was in San Marcos. We filmed it in the stadium, but we also the marching band in that video is also the San Marcos marching band and students at San Marcos, which I've had the pleasure to know, and I love them so much. So yeah, I mean, I love this song. I had such a specific vision for it. My co-star, Milo Bustani, he actually played my love interest in my freshman musical at San Marcos, Sing in the Rain. And so it was cool to do. It was like a full circle moment to do this music video with him. But it's my baby. They're all my babies, but this one is like my favorite baby. I feel like I can't have a favorite baby, but it's my favorite.
Did you actually eat a Taco Bell? That's your thing, right? You love Taco
I
Bell?
had Taco Bell yesterday. Yeah, it's my
They
favorite.
should hire you for Taco Bell.
No, I really want a
saying
deal.
this week-
Taco Bell, sponsor me, please. Thank you. No, it's kind of ironic because in the song I'm like, oh, like you went on a date at Taco Bell? That's so gross. I would love it. I would love it. I just wanted to feature Taco Bell in a song some way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You go to Goleta one, Santa Barbara one. Yeah.
All of them. Well, the thing is, I have rehearsals this summer at CC, and so the Taco Bell
On the
on the Mesa is right next to the campus, so it's really tempting.
Yes. Well, it's affordable, and you can get like healthy stuff there depending on what you order. It totally works. If
Yeah,
you just get
it
some-
cancels
yeah.
out.
So, okay. I have a question because the song is mostly like, if you were doing all these good things, you could see why you love him. But then you have that line, I'd understand if you get the ick when he wipes his mouth on his sleeve, right? And then I understand if you preferred roses over all the little things. Okay. So what does that mean? Like, I understand. I actually, because I'm so lame, I Googled the ick, right? Because I'm like, what is that? And maybe that's a good word for like, your generation. And it's like, oh, it's like the moment where you like get turned off by somebody who you were kind of interested in.
Yeah.
But so help me understand. I'd understand if you get the ick when he wipes his mouth on his sleeve. So isn't that a bad thing? So why would you understand it? I'm just trying to.
It's like I'd understand that you'd get the ick if he did this thing, but you don't. You love him even though he does that. Because then it goes to, but if he asks you to prom, I'd understand why you love him, but he doesn't do that.
Right.
He's gross and he uses his sleeve as a napkin. So,
You wouldn't actually like be turned off by someone who wipes his
no,
mouth on
I
his sleeve,
mean,
right?
Can I do this? I'm sorry. I was gonna call out my current boyfriend. Like he does stuff like that sometimes, but like it's different when they're like a terrible person and doing gross stuff, except if they're like a really sweet person and they sometimes do gross stuff.
Then it's cute when they do the gross stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like
Sometimes.
funny, eccentric thing.
Yeah, I guess if they're nice enough, they treat you well, then you're okay with them doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so did that win some award or something? I saw the Taco Bell song. I
Yeah.
saw that online.
What it won second place at
International Songwriting Competition. Yeah, for the unsigned category.
and wasn't it what was it the year before that I got first for
Little Miss.
Little Miss? But that was in the teen category. So that's where I'm competing against other teens. But this year I was in a category with all age range, like adults too. And so getting second is like I think a pretty big deal because I was going against like grown adults who's probably been doing this their whole lives. And I was like,
Right.
it's exciting.
How long did it take you to write Taco Bell? Do you do the music first, lyrics, the collaboration?
It changes depending on the piece. I think I had the concept first with this song because this song is one of my I challenge myself to write really specific now because I used to write very generic, and I think also today being an artist you have to release very specific stuff and very unique stuff in order to get noticed in this crazy and industry with everyone's doing it now. And so I wanted to challenge myself to do something specific, and that's where I'm like, I don't know if anyone's written a song called Taco Bell before. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you're going to sing a little bit of Taco Bell.
Yep.
And, I'm looking forward to this. So let's hear Naomi Jane sing Taco Bell.
I know what you're thinking. Date night Taco Bell ain't ideal. You want something more than that. Watch too many rom-coms. Expectations high. I know. It's a girl thing. And I'd understand if you get the ick when he wipes his mouth on his sleeve. I'd understand if you prefer roses over all the little things. If he asked you to prom with the entire marching band, I'd understand why you love him. If he writes you a song, professes undying love, I'd understand why you'd want him. But he didn't do any of that.
I love the end of that song, when you're just saying, but he never did any of that. It's like just an original sort of take on it because it's like, I love this. I love it. It's like a poem almost. It's like storytelling. So that song is amazing. And your voice, I mean, that's what distinguishes you in my mind from a lot of other stuff you could hear is it's like God's gift. And I'm obviously you work at it too. It's like a skill you have and you spend a lot of time on it, but it's the voice that drives everything. I wanted to ask you about this Hawaii songwriting festival that you went to. I saw one of your Instagram posts and you had said it was like a life changer. And so what was that? What did you do? Talk to me about how that what that experience was like.
Yeah, so through Teen Star, actually, I met the wonderful Adam Zalkine, who is now my producer. We're working on a pretty cool album record together. But he was the mentor, and so we've been working together, and he's like, every year there's a songwriting festival in Hawaii that a bunch of artists from all over the world go to, and he wanted to bring me this year. So obviously we're like, we'll use any excuse to go to Hawaii. I've never been, but also like Hawaii and songwriting, like a dream. So we went there and I met some of maybe the most incredible people ever. I've made connections with people that I think have helped my music, and we're currently working together on really taking that next big step. Like, not only was the experience a life changer, but the people were. And I think that's why everyone goes back every year. I'm going back the next year because it's such a loving and supporting community where everyone's like, ooh, I like this, but what if you did this? And ooh, I like this, what if you did this? And then you meet connections that'll stay with you for a lifetime. So yeah, I loved it.
So was it a week long, or what did you stayed at a hotel and you're around other emerging artists, or what was the vibe like?
Yeah, it was like a weekend. So it was like 3 days was the festival, but we came the day before and left the day after it. Um, Everywhere you went, there was music playing. During lunchtime and dinner time, there were always open mics where you put your name in like a hat and they pick it out and then you sing, which is what I did one of the nights. And I met some incredible people through there.
Hold on to sing randomly.
Yeah. Well, I got called one time on during lunch, but I'm like, don't have a keyboard on me. I can't do it. And so then I did the dinner time performance. But even when that's not happening, there's people sitting like in random corners playing guitar, but everyone plays together. So one person plays the guitar. Next thing you know, someone comes up and plays the cajon. Someone comes up with a flute. And the whole hotel was filled with music. And it's my paradise on earth, like Hawaii, but like paradise on earth, like being surrounded by people who have the same passion and love for the thing that you do too. Like it's insane.
Did you go?
Yes, I chaperoned. So it was amazing. It was specifically set up to work with and interface with publishers and sync licensing. So music supervisors from major networks and film and television were there. So she got to learn a lot about how to get her music into those areas. And major publishers from all around the world were there. So she got to learn about that. And she got the incredible opportunity to have a scholarship to go through Penn Publishing, gave her a scholarship. So it was an incredible learning experience. There were classes throughout the day that she got to attend. So it was mind-blowing. And we were in Kona on the Big Island.
Yeah.
And it was her
Get
first.
any water time, or was it all work? Yeah.
We literally strategically would go down because during lunch we would grab our food and then go down to the pool for like maybe less than an hour just so I could not come back to Santa Barbara after being in Hawaii with no color. I needed some sort of, I was like, I'll burn if I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No sunscreen in that hour.
Yeah.
So I believe you sang it there, because this is another song I want to ask you about, which is Passenger Princess. And there's like a video of it where you're performing it on the keyboard. And I think it's the Songwriting Festival, and it's in 2 parts on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I love this song. This song is so sweet, and it's so like female empowerment, and it's so revealing. And so I want to ask you a couple of questions about that, but like I had heard Passenger Princess, because I did ask Megan, my daughter, like, have you heard this term? Is this like a term? And I guess it's like in some cases, it could be a positive term. Like somebody wants someone to treat them like a princess. You drive, you take the lead, you do everything, and I'm your princess kind of thing. But your spin on it is like, no, I don't want to be like second to you, I guess. But
Yeah.
can you talk about the song and what inspired you and what it means?
Yeah. So I have this thing on my notes app called Shower Thoughts, which is wherever I hear something random or think of something random, I just write it down. And so I was actually in a writing session with Adam Zalkine and with Glenn Phillips, who's from Toad the Wet Sprocket. And we were trying to figure out what are we going to write today, because it was my first writing session ever with him. And I said, ooh, what about Passenger Princess? He's like, that's interesting. So the song kind of talks about like, yeah, it's like being second, like you said, being second to someone. It's like, okay, well, like it's like, yeah, I don't always want to be second to you. I want to be put first. I want to be a priority. And if I'm not going to be a priority, I'll make myself a priority. So it's about that. I have such a huge love for country music. My favorite artist is Zach Bryan and Tyler Childers. And this song is kind of my first little teaser to what's to come with maybe a little bit of country, folk, indie kind of stuff. But I really wanted to explore kind of that sarcastic country like Megan Maroney and all these other artists do.
Right. And so is there a full length version of that song out? Is that not yet? It's
Stay tuned. That's all I'll say. Yeah, stay tuned.
yeah, I want that full version because I'm tired of clicking twice on the YouTube. But that's an amazing song. Like that's,
Thank
and
you.
again, I'm not like a music producer or expert, but I know good music when I hear it. And these songs, like Olivia Rodrigo or any of these stars would kill to have your songs. Like they're so good. And that song, that's a hit. So hopefully we hear the version of it at some point. Since we're talking about it, let's hear you sing Passenger Princess.
I don't like walking behind you. Even when you're close, you feel miles ahead. Now we're stuck in traffic. We lost the magic. Our song is on the radio, but I think I heard it wrong before. So move over and let me drive. I don't always want to be your passenger princess. I like being by your side, but what do you think that this is? Do you need a GPS to some common sense? I'm not helpless, but you're no genius. So move over and let me drive. I don't always want to be your passenger princess.
Yeah, that song really like moves you. It makes you feel like your emotion the way you sing it. And it's like it's female empowerment and it's cheering for, equality in some context, in the relationship. So that's great. I want to talk to you about another one of my favorite songs, which is Like, Love You. You know why I love this song? Is because you're happy in it. Like you're joyful. You're like in a good relationship. It's like that moment where you fall in love, I guess, and like that period where everything's perfect before things go wrong.
Yeah.
And so Like, Love You has got incredible video, right, of it. And you're in that green, which is like very like, appealing in terms of like bright colors,
Yeah. For sure.
And Father Larry is in this video from the Santa Barbara Mission. And the song is fantastic, but can you talk, what is with Like, Love You? How did Father Larry get involved, or is it filmed? Just the story.
Yeah. So I'll talk a little about the song first. Like Love You it's based off of that concept of like little kids on a playground, and then this kid's like, kids are like, I think I like you. And so I wanted to play off of that concept where it's like kind of like this innocence of early love, like I like you, no, I don't, I think I actually love you. So I wanted to also play like melodically and with like the music video, like make it playful, hence Father Larry was in the video. Father Larry is like, well, it's a family friend, but like really is like family to us. He's like a grandpa to me. He says I'm a daughter to him, which is really sweet. But yeah, like I don't know, he's been a supporter since day one. Like he was at Teen Star for me. Whenever I have like an audition or like an interview like this, like he'll pray for me. I don't know. He's like a miracle worker. Do you have some stuff you want to say about Father Larry?
He's like one of your biggest fans, so he jumped on the opportunity to.
I just wanted Father Larry in a Maserati. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, that car.
Always a sucker for guys in 90s middle parts. Leo DiCaprio, Heath Ledger have my heart. August didn't know my life was about to start. Kissed on the first date, stayed out too late. Scared every time you say hi. But you should know you're the one out of a million guys. And it feels like I don't like to give away. Don't know what love is, I want to. You healed all of my broken wounds. Was running away from love when I ran into you. The boy that I cannot lose.
you're cruising up Cabrillo Boulevard. Is that where that is
Yeah.
for parts of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this song, your voice is higher in it, and it's more cheery, poppy. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer those kind of songs? Because this song is like Naomi Jane is in a great relationship, like, as opposed to Lightning. We're like, oh,
It's like, isn't that a first?
this guy Coaster, But like, tell me why you like this song, or what goes into creating a positive, happy song.
I think I'm gonna be honest. When I first started writing music, it was always like sad songs, which I know a lot of artists get stuck in. But I think for this song, what helps me write happy songs is just like kind of making fun of the song as itself while I'm writing it,
Right.
which is what I was basically doing when I was writing it. I was like, who would? Yeah, it's based off of like kind of I was listening to a lot of Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter and all these kind of artists at the time. And I was like, ooh, if we did kind of like a modern 80s spin on the song, that'd be kind of cool. It's basically it's like summer kind of in a song. It's sarcastic, it's funny.
Yeah.
Again, I would say it's like me in a song, but like minus the Taco Bell.
Yeah, I love the chorus, and it goes high, and it's just that like love you, and it's like cute, it's pleasant. So let's hear you sing it, and we'll be right back.
Hide behind the wall so they don't see us kiss. Been in love before, but never felt like this. 'Cause I fell for you, under a spell for you. I can't tell what's ahead. Don't want this good thing to end. 'Cause I don't like you, I love you. Don't know what love is, I want to. You healed all of my broken wounds. Was running away from love when I ran into you. The boy that I cannot lose.
Oh my gosh, I always laugh when I see Father Larry, and because he's dancing in this video. So go to YouTube.
It was like
and watch
very
it.
easy to make him dance. Like we were just like, do you want to like dance? And he was like getting into it like right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool. And was that like one day? Do you do one day shoots with the studios?
Usually Taco Bell was the only shoot that took 2 days because we had the concept for the marching band, but like something just didn't work schedule wise that we just like had to wait a little bit for that. But I think that it made the video doing it at 2 different times. But we usually do it like not even a full day, like probably 6 hours at most.
Right. Michele, I want to ask you about like what is the goal here, or how do you manage Naomi's career in a way where you're obviously wanting to put her in the best positions to be successful. The music industry can be very, there's a dark side to the music industry, and you have to make smart choices. And I'm sure there's a lot of interest in Naomi Jane in terms of, being part of her team. And you're an incredible mom. You're with her every step of the way. So can you talk to me about like what's in your head when you're watching her, when you're managing her, and you're trying to help her achieve her dreams? What's this experience like for you in dealing with that world out there?
I think it's just it's been a life process with her. So it's for some people would think things come very fast. This has been a growing process for all of us, and it's been something I've learned into and become educated. I've started studying at NYU Tisch, Clive Davis School, so that I became smart about her business. Because very early on we did get taken advantage of or had bad management, and I learned very quick that I had to become just as smart as everyone else in the room if we were meeting with industry people. So I think I've become very, able to manage and know, how to manage her career and manage, what to do and make sure that she's aligned with the best people. I've always managed my own art business, so that helps me. And in doing that, I've always been able to align with the best galleries and the best directors. And that's the only way I've been successful. And so it really means just limiting who has access to her. So it's not fast and fancy, and it's there's just very few people that I trust. And even with social media, she has a huge following on social media, but we really limit like who she personally has access to, or what she knows, or how sees, or who has contact with her. And so it's just a really slow vetting process that we go through.
Yeah, as a journalist, when I write stories or create something, I get negativity. I mean, positive, but it's always the negative people who are like the first in line. So, I can imagine it's just a tough thing to deal with when you got this world of people can anonymously say things. But it's also super exciting, right? Like you have a daughter who, I mean, if nothing ever happens going forward, in addition to the success she's had, like it's amazing success story. But she's 16. I mean, the sky is the limit, and someone's, I mean, she's going to take off. There's no doubt about it. It's exciting, right? I mean, you're just thinking about how that's going to happen. So you got to be ready for it, but you're doing all the right things. I want to ask you about Teen Star, because you mentioned Father Larry, and we kind of skipped over that, but you won Teen Star, and I watched it on YouTube. I was not there, but were you nervous? I mean, did you think it's great competition? You're up there on stage, there's vulnerability, or you did a lot of like that opera sounding songs on there. Walk me through that and what you were experiencing when you're up there performing.
It was probably one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. So I strategically picked my songs. I did The Joke by Brandi Carlile as my first song, which is a folk song, kind of. And then I did If I Loved You from Carousel, which is a classic musical theater song, but I did it more opera, that's what people like say. So I did that because I feel like that's kind of like a whole plate, like a whole taste of me as a singer and my vocal chops, because it's a singing competition. So I could have done something pop, I could have done something like very straight musical theater, but I really wanted to show off like my sound as an artist. So I did The Joke, which is very different from If I Loved You, which I think really worked in my favor. But normally there's only 3 finalists at the end. And so when they announced the 3, I was like, well, it's done for me. And then they announced a 4th, and it was me.
That's right. Yeah.
And I remember my sister told me that they saw like them take like the piano out, because for my final song, I had a piano player, which is actually my theater teacher, Shannon Sala. Shout out to her. And my sister was like, oh, it's over. It's over. But then I went out and I sang the song, and that's when Catherine said like, that's one of the most incredible performances I've seen through Teen Star, which is insane. I also love this song. Carousel is like my dream musical. If anyone watching this is casting Carousel, hi. It's one of my dream shows, and to sing that song that means so much to me, I think also worked in my favor because I just emotionally connected to it so much. But it was an honor, like genuinely, like it was working in an environment with not only adults that were professional, but kids. Like that was insane. And also it's all Santa Barbara people, so that's like a whole new community that I just made right there. So yeah, it was awesome, and I'm forever grateful to be Teen Star, and I can't wait for next year and see all the incredible talent that comes with that.
Yeah, well, you've really done a great job of using Teen Star as a platform to uplift other people through your community activism. You're not like self-centered, like I won this and let me do my thing. You've done a great job to uplift the issues around the Santa Barbara Unified School District, and you're promoting Teen Star as you continue your journey, which I think they must really love, and that's great. You've all had a lot of success. how do you handle disappointment? Like if you didn't win Teen Star, or, and obviously you have disappointment, you know, in your life, but what is your approach? What is your attitude? What would you say to young people, young women, when things don't go your way? How do you stay positive in a world out there that can be very, very difficult to navigate, especially at 16?
Yeah, I faced when I was in Hawaii, I was kind of on a streak with performing my songs for people and getting no feedback on it, which I really loved. It's nice when you show someone your song and they're like, I have nothing to say. That's good. But one of my last mentor I worked with said that my melodies were too complicated and that my lyrics were also too complicated. And it really it made me really upset because it was like, oh shoot, like I was like on this streak, like everyone thought I was so good. And now like, I would say for advice, do not let one person's opinion matter so much. And then also remember, if you're like an artist like me out there, like make music for yourself, not for other people. There's people that are gonna like hard and unique melodies and complicated lyrics, and there's people that aren't, and that's fine. That's why I think a lot of artists, like, you need to find your people, your fans, and then people will like tag on to that. It's all about like trending stuff. So like that's what happened with Zach Bryan. He had a very small platform. I was one of his early followers, and then all of a sudden Something in the Orange came out and everyone was listening to it. And so now it's like he's like that, like the white girl artist of the century. But it's because people will follow. So just find your group of people who appreciate your music for what it is. And yeah, I just say make music for yourself, not for other people.
And Michele, as mom, do you try to protect her from negativity? Does she come home to you at the end of the day, give you a hug and cry like a lot of 16-year-olds would do with their mom? How do you navigate that? Like, how do you keep her safe in those moments?
Like, I can't really keep her safe from real life, like, and she lives it. And I think she has to live real life to write about it, and have real experiences. Earlier in her life, she was bullied for her art and for her music, really pretty severely, and was very afraid to put it out there. And I think that comes through in her art and in her music and in her tone. And I think she's got great courage for that. And I think that makes her a better artist. But it just helps shape her. And I think it gives her grit and it gives her tenacity and it just keeps her working harder. But we just encourage her and support her.
Yeah, that's true. Grit and tenacity, because you're tough. Like, you can tell that that you've experienced a lot. And I don't want to say you're like an old soul, because young people hate that. That's not what I mean. But like, you're definitely very,
That's what I
yeah, like so you can handle, I'm pretty sure, anything. Let's talk. I got just a couple more songs and then we're going to wrap up. But it's such a pleasure to be able to have this conversation with you and just be able to be here, at this stage in your journey. But I want to talk to you about Press Send, which, again, this was my journey of like how I found your music. So now we're on to like the next one, because I'm the type, I'll listen to the song over and over and I want to memorize it, kind of thing, and then I'll move on. So Press Sand, and you have great music videos. Like these are incredible. Like they are as good or better than a lot of the stuff you see from, these so-called super famous artists. Like, they're so good, and so Press Sand has got a great video, and you're standing and you got the, like, I guess it's like codeine in the background, or, and so very visually appealing.
So you're kissing that blonde girl. She don't look a thing like me, but you know you're in your own world, full of insecurities. Everybody is a side piece. All you care about is you. So here's a little karma. Let it teach you a thing or two. I trusted you. You made a mess. She's just a friend. Now you're breathing on her neck. Hate that I care. You never left. Yes, you moved on inside your head. You built and I broke. I keep writing words
But I like the song, and you have a line in here as a writer. I kind of pay attention to like words. Was I trusted you made a mess. She's just a friend. Now you are breathing on her neck. No, that's not the melody, of course. I'm just reading it. But that's so great. Like now you're breathing on her neck, right? It's not now you're kissing, now it's you're holding her hand, but it's a different way to show the pain you feel. It's not like you even care that they're kissing, but they're so close that they're right there, and he's breathing on her neck. And so this is a song about betrayal. It's right. This is a song about, I guess, having the nerve to getting the nerve up to hit send, to say, I'm done, right? I'm over you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's my interpretation, but talk to me about press send and what that song means to you.
Yeah, press send is like you said, it's when you're just at that point where it's like you did so much wrong to me, and this is the end. Like I built up the courage, like I'm going to like tell you no. Like I'm done. So this song is like in Sweet Talk in the album. This is I'm pretty sure the final song, right, on the album.
Socks.
Oh, Socks is? No, it's Press End. It's the final song on the album because it shows the story of like, I like you, I love you, you left me, we know, you don't treat me right, you left me. And then it gets to this one where it's, I'm gonna cut it off because I'm done. So it's the concluder. Is that a word?
You made it a word.
Yeah.
I love making words, but I need to tell you, I've made up this new word called, what is it? No, what is it called? Girthy. Girthy. Maybe that's already a word, but I'm gonna copyright it.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to it. Sorry. Gertie is like grungy and dirty together as one. It's okay. But back to what I was talking about. Yeah, that's Press End. And this song, it's hard for me to kind of write a song where it's like empowering in the sense that I've never broken up with anyone before. And so this song is it was hard to write because I can't really relate to it. I'm usually the one that's got broken up with. But it really came from a part like of empowerment, and like this is how I would do it. Like I just text you and be like, I'm done. I can't do this. Because it's also, I think Press End is also about like this person has done so much wrong that they don't deserve like a proper breakup. Like they don't, like I'm not gonna go in person and put in so much effort to end things with you if you've put in zero effort to keep things like working. Especially if you're with another girl, like that's crazy. So yeah, that's basically what Press End is about.
Right. And again, the songwriting there is quick, or is it long, or
I try to find the weirdest ways to say basic things. So like with the breathing on her neckline, it originally was now you're kissing her neck, but we wanted to challenge it and be like, how could we say the same thing, have the same effect, but like not be so literal. So that's why we did the breathing on your neck, because it's like that proximity, which is like the betrayal,
Yeah. And that's the line. It's like, because breathing on your neck is almost even more intimate than like kissing on your neck, because they're comfortable with someone being that close.
It's also more dramatic, and I love drama. I love to be dramatic.
So let's hear a little bit of Press End. And again, these songs are just incredible. So let's hear Naomi Jane with Press End.
You built and I broke. I keep writing words on a screen, getting hope that I'll let go of you. Can't ignore the fact that you broke my heart in two. So I'll say goodbye, and I don't wish you well, 'cause I gave you love, boy, and you gave me hell. This is the end. Now I've got the courage, type it up, press send.
So that song is amazing. You do an incredible job, like everything else. I know that in a few minutes I want to ask you about your future, but will these songs that you've released, could they appear on a future album? Or they just live there in that form forever? Or I mean, you own your stuff, so you can do anything you want with these songs down the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so right now they all live on my EP, we call it like a freshman EP because it's my first one, called Sweet Talk. So go stream that if you're watching. But I think our next step is, especially after Hawaii, is trying to sync these songs. And because these songs, I was talking to some people, they're perfect for like reality dating TV shows like Love Island and Too Hot to Handle, or like Netflix, like teen movies like Exo Kitty, and like I'll say an old one for an example, like The Kissing Booth. So it's like kind of stuff like that. So it's trying to keep these songs because they're out, but trying to keep them as alive as they can be. Maybe I know actually I get most of my views on TikTok for doing acoustic versions of all of my pop songs.
House.
Yeah,
Right. I've
on my
seen that.
piano. And so I would personally love to do an acoustic version of these pop songs because I think also with TikTok, people relate most to my music when it's just me and my piano because that's how I wrote it. That's like my whole heart is with me and the piano, and then we add all the extra crazy stuff. So I think I would love to do that in the future personally.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the piano and the musician part, was that side by side? Did you learn that start at 5, or how did you do that?
Yeah, I took my vocal teacher was like, "Hey, if you want to get into Juilliard and you want to be like a singer, you need to learn how to read music and play piano." So, because I want to go to college for music. And so I was like, there's like a class where you have to learn piano, but you can test out of it. So my goal is to test out of it because I don't want to just take piano lessons again after I've taken it my whole life. So yeah, I haven't taken any recently because I've been very busy, but I take piano lessons almost like every Wednesday. Every week with the same guy. And I'll like sometimes when I don't practice my piano, I'm like, "Oh, I have a new song for you." And he's like, "Great." And then we just do that instead. Because he also helps me figure out the coolest ways to make a melody for my songs. So not only does he teach me like Beethoven and Mozart and all that. I can't say boring because it's Beethoven and Mozart, but you know what I mean, like
Traditional.
yeah, traditional. That's a good way to say it. Traditional music, but he teaches me like how can I take my music, my melodies on the piano to the next step.
Yeah.
So yeah. I did saxophone for a while, and Tacobell, at the very end of the music video, one of the girls, the San Marcos students, pretends to do the saxophone solo at the end of the Tacobell song because that's like it kind of honors my saxophone journey. Ooh, I have a funny story, and I think this is so random, but I only started playing the saxophone because this boy I liked in 4th grade played the saxophone. And then once I started to play the saxophone, he quit to do drums. So then I was the only saxophone player. But I kept going with it because I was great. But yeah.
He inspires you.
Yeah.
Yes. So what does the next 5 years look like for you? You obviously are very focused. I can't even imagine. You must have Google spreadsheet just for her, and like, your schedule. You're so busy. You do theater, San Marcos, other places. You're constantly busy. What does the next 5 years look like? Do you want to go to college? Is that too far ahead? I mean, I guess next year you have to submit applications, but what is your goal here of the next few years with your artistry?
I would say, I say this all the time. I feel like the goal is not to go to college because I'm just so successful and busy that I don't have time for it. But even if that's the case, I would love to do an independent study. That's what Olivia Rodrigo did at USC. So she's still, got a degree in music and all that stuff. But if I love learning and I'm really fascinated on music theory, and our SB Unified, they don't really offer a lot of music classes. If you want to do music, you have to be a part of the choir or the band or theater, but there's no class specifically for music theory. And so I would love to further my education with that. So that's why I would love to a dream of mine is to go to Berklee School of Music in Boston. Like that's where Lin-Manuel Miranda went and all these incredible, incredible musicians. for composition and for writing music, and then maybe I would minor in, I don't know, like music production or like singing. But I mean, I just moved back to California, and there's a part of me that just does not want to go back to the East Coast. So I mean, USC has an incredible program, UCLA. I'm still looking. Obviously, I'm working in school to like get good grades so I can go to college, but I've never had like a set. My path has always been music and like pursuing music, but now it's just like, how do I fit that path in with college and all that stuff? But for my music currently, where I'm more, like I said, I'm working on a record with Adam Zelkine, which is super exciting. So there'll be more information about that. I'll send to you and be on my socials. But I just released Mr. Incognito, and does the music video come out this week?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday the 28th. Go watch it. After that, I have a song called In the Moment coming out, which will be exciting. And then after that, I have a song called I Cry, and then maybe an album after that, but I can't say a lot. So yeah, that's I want to start touring, doing live shows. I'm starting this summer. I have a live performance at is it the Kitchen or the Crocodile?
It's Madame Lou's Crocodile in Seattle. She's
Yeah.
on a set in Seattle.
Which I'm doing with some of my great friends and mentors I met through Prodigy Camp, which is a camp I did last year, and that's where I had the pleasure of meeting Chapel Roan there. So yeah, that, and then I'm just trying to build my brand and post on TikTok and just put myself out there.
Yeah, your version of Pink Pony Club is great.
Thank you.
At the piano in your house, I think I saw it somewhere. So we're gonna wrap it up in a couple of minutes. I could spend like all day talking to you, but I want to hear Mr. Incognito before we wrap up, and then I'll have some final words.
Told me that you want me, but it's all one-sided. 'Cause you love me, touch on me, where you saw my scars. Got me to the basement where God wasn't invited. Break my walls down to build a Rico. No other choice, 'cause you don't hear no. You hide behind this mask you make, 'cause you're not who you say. So you break my walls down to build your ego, Mr. Incognito.
Mr. Incognito, this is a song about a duplicitous guy, I guess, someone who presents themselves one way, and then, like a lot of guys, they change, after a short amount of time. What's the inspiration? What's Mr. Incognito about?
So Mr. Incognito is actually based on a true story that happened to me. It was a very like vulnerable thing that happened. I was at a trip with my musical theater group called Euphony, and we were at this performance, and then there was a situation that this guy kind of told me he was one way, but he actually wasn't, and it was like this whole thing. So I was like, how can I create this very vulnerable and tough story situation for me into something that would relate to millions of people? And so that's how Mr. Incognito came out, and it's now universally about a friend or a guy that presents themselves as one way, but they lied and they're actually another. So yeah, it's about that portrayal.
And this video was shot at the Vic. Tell us about that story, because again,
Yeah.
for Santa Barbarans who are watching this show, you will, if you watch your videos, you'll see all kinds of great Santa Barbara sites. It's amazing. So yeah, the video. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we recorded it at ETC at the Vic. Our inspiration for this music video, I'm a musical theater kid at heart, and I really wanted to do something haunting like Phantom of the Opera, because Phantom of the Opera, it's like the Phantom wears half the mask, which is kind of like Mr. Incognito, like the mask. It's like those two identities. So I wanted to kind of recreate that. So that's what we did. We have an incredible team. Matthew Donner, am I saying that right? Matthew Donner. He's our cinematographer. He is insane. He also did Lightning and part of Tacobell.
That's great.
He also is a Santa Barbara local, so that's a little honor to that.
Marcos alum.
Yeah, and he went to San Marcos, and he didn't he go. What did he? He was in my choir teacher's class too.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yep.
Choir.
I always say random things. I'm so sorry.
Care to shout out our older Santa Barbarans?
I know, with little shout outs here and there. But yeah, it was based off of that. And I mean, ETC, the Vic, the staff were so incredibly helpful and kind, and we're at our every need. We're like, can you open the curtain? Can you close the curtain? It was great. That was definitely one of the harder music videos to create because it's such a specific story. It's like, how do I show this without showing it? That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the gist.
Right. We're going to hear you sing Mr. Incognito, an excerpt, because you're going to have to go to YouTube and watch the video. But let's hear Naomi Jane with Mr. Incognito.
Got me to the basement where God wasn't invited. Told me that you want me, but it's all one-sided. 'Cause you love on me, touch on me when you saw my scars. Got me to the basement where God wasn't invited. Break my walls down and build your ego. No other choice, 'cause you don't need no. You hide behind this mask you made, 'cause you're not who you say. So you break my walls down and build your ego, Mr. Incognito.
You know, Naomi Jane, that song is amazing in its own right because it's your voice on an entirely different level. It's like the Like Love You song, which is very poppy and young and cheery. This song is like incredible, like the range you're showing and the depthness of your voice, the seriousness, the maturity, you're really good at showing your emotions through your song and through your range. And that's what separates you from everything else you can hear out there. And we're so lucky to have you in Santa Barbara. Now, we're going to say we knew you win, but when you're winning the Grammy and you see me on the street, don't ignore me. Say,
No, I promise I won't.
I want to thank you for being on the show. Amazing conversation, and we're just so honored to be able to hear your music live, and just great. And so I encourage everybody to check out Naomi Jane. I might give you the last word in a second. And Michele, thank you for being here and everything that you do. And you know, you're incredible as a parent, as an artist, and navigating this whole thing. Because as a journalist, I've watched you too, and it's very impressive. Where can people find you, Naomi Jane?
People can find me on all platforms and social media platforms under Naomi Jane Official.
Great. Thanks again. I appreciate this lovely conversation. Please check out Santa Barbara Talks on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Also visit santabarbaratalks.com and support this podcast series. If you like what we do, consider a contribution. Thank you so much. Have a great day.